Kev G weather overview, the last week of July, and we're going to end it on a hot note. It looks like the hottest temperatures of the year for many places in and around the tri-state area are on the way, especially on Friday. That looks to be a particularly scorching hot day around these parts. And generally speaking, we've gotten very lucky, and in a few minutes I'll show you why we're going to go back into the same pattern, it looks like. So this heat looks like it's going to be formidable, but it'll be short-lived. So we'll deal with the temperatures first. We'll notice the humidity come up tomorrow with some afternoon storms, but highs still around 86. Now we're flirting with 90 on Wednesday in and around the city. And by the time we get into Thursday, now we're going to see low and middle 90s take hold. And you're really going to notice the humidity. So this is going to be day one for a lot of places of 90 degree plus. And on Friday, this is where I think we see the worst of the hot temperatures, because you're going to combine the humidity and the temperatures around 95, and you're going to deal with some outrageous heat indices, the combination of heat and humidity, and I'll show you that in just a second. Now we get into Saturday, still one more day where it's 92, but I think the humidity levels start to come down a bit, especially by afternoon. If we can get a cold front passage through here, I think sometime in the mid-afternoon to early evening, you'll notice that the humidity comes down. If you look up the Hudson Valley, you can see that it's noticeably cooler on Saturday. Now, around Sunday, this is where we get back into our normal temperatures. This is where we should be for this time of year, with highs around 86. Now, the National Weather Service did a really good graphic, and they are really highlighting the potential on Friday here for some pretty outrageous heat index values. That's the combination of the actual temperature and the humidity. Look at around New Brunswick. They're projecting a heat index of 109 degrees. So if you're very concerned about heat and the effect it has, you really want to think about Friday as a day to make precautions and try to be in a cool place. Now, for tomorrow, I think we will deal with a thunderstorm threat in the afternoon. This is off the NAM model, and you can see it's trying to kick up some storms between around 12 p.m. and 3 p.m., and it's a skinny line of storms that kind of moves through here, and then we're done. But that's just one interpretation of the model. Basically, you just figure that there's going to be a general threat for thunderstorms in a small window tomorrow. And then the main story for the rest of the week is just basically this building heat and humidity. The model is trying to print out daily afternoon storms, but it keeps it confined inland. I think that our main situation here is going to be the potential for the high likelihood, anyway, for very high temperatures on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday before we finally start to have a cold front push through on Saturday afternoon, Saturday night, and knock those temperatures down. I think the model is overestimating the amount of rain here for the end of the week. So I think for the most part, it's just mainly the heat we have to deal with. And the jet stream is going to revert back to where it was. And that means that basically, if you've been following this blog, what I've noticed here is that, every 2 or 3 days, this jet stream comes down. So the heat can only build for so long. And here we are by about around the time we get to July 31st and August 1st. And you can see that the jet stream is once again digging down from Canada, and it's protecting the Northeast, so to speak, from any prolonged heat and humidity. It is summertime around here, but at the same time, we have been very fortunate with respect to other parts of the country that the heat and humidity is really not sticking around for long periods of time. So I think August is going to open up on a nice note. I think that once we get past Saturday, we'll be done with the heat for a little while, and then we'll just revert our attention to next week, and we'll see how the pattern goes through the early parts of August. But I expect more of the same, with these troughs coming down from the northeast part of Canada and digging into the northeast part of the United States, and basically keeping the heat at bay for the foreseeable future. But definitely keep in mind that at the end of the week, it looks like very high likelihood for severe heat for at least a day, and I think for parts of the region, you'll be dealing with 90 plus for 3 days, especially in and around the city and points west.